Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. Want to give you guys a heads up on a pretty major free title that will be coming to Steam here soon, at least that's what it says on the Steam page. We'll talk all about that. Maybe not a lot of reason to be excited, but it's a part of a notable IP, so again, we'll go over that. And also, an Epic Game Store exclusive has finally made its way on over to Steam, and one of the biggest game releases in 2024. I didn't even think this game was going to come out in 2024, but Dragon's Dogma 2 might be released pretty early on in the year. Early 24 is looking absolutely insane for new game releases. We'll talk that at the end of this video. But first of all, Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis. The Steam page is live right now. Enjoy the stories of Final Fantasy VII, Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII, and the untold tale of a hero alongside beautifully rendered active time battles. Experience another possibility for a remake of the timeless masterpiece Final Fantasy VII. The game was released on mobile platforms recently. I've heard that the gacha elements in this game are pretty egregious, and, it's kind of wild that they've done this to Final Fantasy VII, but Square Enix and Final Fantasy VII is like me and the humble Warner Brothers bundle. We're just gonna shill for it until the end of days, although that Warner Brothers bundle is only available for a couple more days, so jump on that as soon as possible. But nevertheless, Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, obviously, it's easy to see what Square Enix is doing with FF7. They're trying to monetize it in literally every avenue possible, and I can't really blame them in that regard, given that it is probably the most successful franchise that they have. And Final Fantasy is a franchise, but Final Fantasy VII is a franchise within a franchise. When you look at all of the different games, re-releases, movies that they've put out, it's really staggering everything that they've done. It's a game told in episodic installments, includes stories with brand new characters as well as sub-stories featuring more familiar faces. Progress through tales recreated with Polygon-style characters inspired by the original FF7, and even those unfamiliar with FF7 can enjoy this expansive new world in all of its glory. Battles do note immerse yourself in beautifully rendered active time battles in addition to familiar abilities, materia, summons, and limit breaks. Battles also include support features such as auto mode and accelerated mode that make them even more accessible. Form parties with characters from Final Fantasy VII, Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII, and the new original story, Final Fantasy VII The First Soldier, then take on quests with all new gear, co-op content as well, team up with other players and friends to take on powerful bosses in co-op battles as well. Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis doesn't have a release date yet, but usually with games like this, they get announced for a release on Steam page goes live, and then the release follows quickly thereafter. Like, I don't think this will be something you'll have to wait until mid-2024, at the latest, early 2024, especially because this is just going to be a straight port. But obviously, keep in mind that this game is one of those titles that is, like, riddled with microtransactions. They also do note, start Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis to get luxurious gifts. New players will receive the below gifts, so make sure to add FF7 Ever Crisis to your wishlist. Blue Crystal times 3,000, 5 guaranteed draw tickets times 30, gear voucher, jumpstart item set, Zweihander X2, and the Apology and Hell X1. These gifts will be redeemable from the gift box in-game. So, yeah, I personally would recommend you to play the FF7 remake and then get excited for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which is coming out exclusively as a timed exclusive on the PlayStation 5 in early 2024, February 29th to be exact. I imagine that'll be out on PC probably by the fall of 2024. I would say mid-2024, but that's probably not going to be the case because I can't see Square Enix releasing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth right after releasing Final Fantasy 16 on PC. Like, Final Fantasy 16, I imagine that'll be, April to June of 2024. I think that makes a lot of sense. Why dilute your own releases by releasing two major titles of that caliber on PC back to back? I saw Sony do that quite a bit when they were bringing their exclusives, and that's not the right way. You want to space these games out as much as you can, so you incentivize people to play them both. You buy one, beat it, it's gonna take a little bit of time, and then by, 3 to 6 months after that, you can release the other one, and they'll be incentivized to buy that as well. But that's just my 2 cents, but nevertheless, Ever Crisis again coming soon. Next up, The Expanse, a Telltale series, is available now on Steam. Take on the role of Kamina Drummer and explore the dangerous, uncharted edges of the belt. From scavenging wreck ships in a zero-gravity environment to combating fearsome pirates, you make the difficult choices in this latest Telltale adventure. All 5 episodes are playable at launch. The game was released at $24.99. I want to say it was more expensive on the Epic Game Store when it initially came out, obviously, because it's been like a year and a half since the initial release, but you get all 5 episodes. If you're familiar with the Telltale experiences, that's exactly what you're gonna get. Narrative-driven. Visually, like, man, these Telltale games have certainly gotten a lift up, and this one was developed by Deck 9, however, that should be noted. And Deck 9 has helped out with some of the Life is Strange titles, so again, as far as narrative goes, that is something that they'll be well-versed in terms of telling a compelling narrative-based story, and The Expanse is available now. At the very least, you might want to add it to your wishlist. I don't know about picking it up at full price. Lastly, Dragon's Dogma 2's release date is scheduled for March 22nd of 2024. There is going to be a showcase that is going to be happening here very shortly from Capcom with Dragon's Dogma 2. Man, that's kind of crazy because when this game was initially revealed, I was like, alright, they're revealing this game fairly early, but I don't think it's going to come out until 2025. Credit to Capcom, outside of nonsense like Pragmata, they've done a pretty good job of announcing a game and then releasing it pretty quickly thereafter. Resident Evil 4 Remake was announced like a year in advance. I want to say RE Village, it didn't take a long time for that to come out. It didn't take a long time for a lot of their games to come out. Street Fighter 6 as well, I'm pretty sure there was a pretty quick turnaround, and that's one of my pet peeves with gaming as a whole these days, with games being announced like 7 years before they actually come out. Like, BioWare and their nonsense teasing with the new Mass Effect, like, yo, get the hell out of here, that game's not gonna be out until 2030, like, come on now. How about we focus on Dragon Age Dreadwolf, and then we can talk about that. But Dragon's Dogma 2, I expect this game to do exceedingly well commercially. You could look at Dragon's Dogma 1 and be like, hey, that game didn't blow it out of the water commercially. However, that's one of those games that over the decade that it's been out has evolved and gotten this really, really strong cult following that once Dragon's Dogma 2 comes out, it's at a higher level. It's a true next-gen title. You know, there's going to be inherent interest in it. People that are already familiar with Dragon's Dogma 1 are going to talk it up. And then when the game comes out, I am fairly confident Capcom is going to deliver a very high-quality game here that I think it's just going to resonate at a really high level. And I think it's going to obviously do way better than the first Dragon's Dogma. And I feel like Capcom really has their finger on the pulse. Yes, they have misfires with games like Exoprimal and Pragmata. I don't know the deal with that game as far as how that's progressing, but I feel like they're doing a lot of right things right now, and I think Dragon's Dogma 2 is gonna crush it from a commercial standpoint as well. But yeah, that is exciting news, and it should be out in March of next year. Remember, this game was just revealed back in May, so this is, yet again, if it hits this release date, quick turnaround. But what does worry me is, man, look at early 2024. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, Tekken 8, Grand Blue Fantasy Relinked, Persona 3 Reload, Suicide Squad, if you're still excited for that game. I know I'm kind of skeptical, but you do have that. Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth and Dragon's Dogma 2 now within the first 3 months. That's absolutely insane. Last of Us Part 2 Remastered is coming out if you care about that as well. Obviously on PS5, sure, that'll get a PC release in the future. But that is going to do it for me. Again, Final Fantasy 7 Ever Crisis, free title in the Final Fantasy 7 universe, will be headed to Steam here shortly. Expanse, a Telltale series, out now on Steam, and Dragon's Dogma 2 should be coming on March 22nd. That's going to do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. And as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate it if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.